The Trees of Fall. Layla's Journey of Letting Go. Let's follow along with Layla on her beautiful journey. Layla sat by her window, her eyes drifting over the fall landscape outside. The trees lining her street were filled with vibrant reds, deep oranges, and bright yellows, yet their beauty didn't reach her heart. Not today. It had been 2 weeks since she lost her job, the one she had invested years of her life into. She had given everything, but in the end, it hadn't been enough. A quiet resignation hung in the air of her small apartment, like the last leaf clinging to a tree before falling to the ground. The buzz of her phone jolted her back to the present, another message from a concerned friend. She sighed, unable to find the energy to respond. Layla grabbed her coat and scarf, deciding that maybe a walk through the nearby forest would give her the space she needed to clear her mind. The air outside was cool, carrying the crisp scent of fallen leaves and damp earth. Layla's feet crunched softly on the path as she made her way toward the forest she had loved since childhood. It was a place of peace, of calm and serenity where the seasons revealed their wisdom, especially in autumn. Chapter 1. The Corridor of Trees Showcasing the Fall Beauty. As she entered the forest, Layla was greeted by a breathtaking sight. A perfect row of trees, their leaves a kaleidoscope of fall colors, stretched out before her like a natural corridor. The path ahead was framed by towering trunks, their branches interwoven with fiery reds and golden yellows, as if nature herself had arranged the scene to guide her forward. Layla paused, mesmerized by the sheer beauty of it all. The trees seemed to encourage her, drawing her deeper into the forest. She hesitated, then took a deep breath and stepped onto the path, her heart yearning for some kind of answer, some sign that she could move forward despite everything that had gone wrong. The quiet rustle of leaves accompanied her as she walked beneath the trees, their vibrant colors glowing in the fading light. It was as if the trees, in their gentle shedding, were telling her something she couldn't yet understand. Chapter 2. Lessons in Letting Go. As Layla continued down the tree-lined path, she noticed the leaves gently drifting down from the branches above. They fell in graceful arcs, spinning and twirling as they made their way to the ground, joining the soft blanket of leaves that covered the earth. Each leaf fell without resistance, as if the trees had learned to let go with ease, trusting that the cycle of life would bring them new growth in the spring. A thought stirred within her. What if I could let go, just like these trees? For weeks, she had held on to her frustration and sadness over losing her job. She had clung to the idea that her work defined her worth, that without it, she was somehow less valuable. But here, in the heart of the forest, surrounded by the effortless beauty of nature's cycle, she began to question that belief. The trees let go, not because they had failed, but because it was a part of their growth. Chapter 3. The Stream of Reflection. The path curved, leading Layla to a small stream running alongside the row of trees. The water was clear and calm, reflecting the brilliant colors of the autumn leaves that hung over its banks. She knelt by the edge of the stream, watching, as the water carried fallen leaves downstream, each one drifting with the current. The stream was a mirror of her thoughts. Life was always moving forward, she realized, even when she felt stuck. Just like the stream that flowed around obstacles, finding its way over rocks and through bends, she could too find her way. It wasn't about controlling the outcome, but about flowing with life's changes. Sitting by the stream, she reflected on the past few months, the pressure she had put on herself, the constant striving, the fear of failure. Now, watching the water move so effortlessly, she began to release those burdens, letting them drift away like the leaves carried by the current. Chapter 4. The Wisdom of the Oak Tree. As dusk settled in, Layla followed the path further into the forest, the row of trees guiding her toward something deeper. At the center of the forest stood a great oak tree, its branches thick and strong, spreading wide as though they had seen countless seasons. Its leaves were the richest shade of orange, glowing softly in the last light of the day. Layla approached the oak and placed her hand on its rough bark. The tree, ancient and wise, had endured countless autumns, each one stripping it of its leaves, yet it stood tall and proud. It didn't fight the change, it embraced it, knowing that letting go was part of its strength. She stood there, feeling the strength of the tree beneath her hand, and something within her shifted. She had spent so much time fearing change, fearing loss, that she hadn't realized the power in surrendering to it. The oak taught her that resilience wasn't about holding on, it was about knowing when to release, trusting that what is meant to stay will remain, and what is meant to fall will pave the way for something new. Chapter 5. The Light Within. As night began to fall, Layla took a deep breath and looked up at the row of trees that had guided her through the forest. The colors of the leaves seemed even more vivid in the fading light, as if they were glowing from within. And that's when she realized. The light she had been searching for wasn't in the forest. It was inside her all along. The trees had shown her the way, but the journey had been about rediscovering her own inner strength. She didn't need her job to define her worth, her resilience, her ability to adapt, her capacity to grow. Those were the things that made her strong. With a lighter heart and a renewed sense of purpose, Layla turned back towards her home. The row of trees, still vibrant with their autumn beauty, stood tall behind her, but she no longer needed them to guide her. She had found her way. Chapter 6. Returning Home. As Layla emerged from the forest, the lights of her town twinkled in the distance, and a sense of peace washed over her. She had come into the forest feeling lost, weighed down by her sadness and uncertainty. But now, she walked with renewed confidence, knowing that just like the trees in the autumn, she could let go of what no longer served her and trust in the promise of new growth. The row of trees had been her guide, but the real journey had been about finding the strength within herself to move forward, to embrace the unknown, and to let go of the past. Layla smiled softly, her breath visible in the cool autumn air. The fall forest had given her a gift, the understanding that she didn't need to hold on so tightly. Like the leaves that fell gracefully from the trees, she too could release her fears and trust in the beauty of change. With that, Layla walked home, the glow of the fall forest still lighting her way. When Layla reached her small apartment, she felt lighter and more at peace. The familiar space, which had once seemed suffocating, now felt welcoming. She took off her coat and scarf and brewed herself a cup of tea, enjoying the quiet of the evening as the steam curled upward from her mug. As the warmth spread through her body, Layla prepared for bed. The weight that had pressed on her chest for weeks had finally lifted, replaced by a gentle sense of hope. She slipped under the covers, her mind no longer racing with worries. Instead, she thought of the trees, their strength, their grace, their ability to let go. As her eyes fluttered shut, Layla felt a deep sense of calm. The autumn forest had given her more than just a walk. It had given her a new perspective. She drifted off to sleep, the sound of the wind rustling through the leaves still echoing in her mind, as if the trees themselves were whispering that everything would be okay. Chapter 7. A Peaceful Night and Sweet Dreams. Layla slept soundly that night, her dreams as peaceful as the autumn forest she had walked through. In her dreams, the vibrant leaves swirled around her, carrying away her fears and replacing them with a sense of renewal. The trees stood tall, offering their silent wisdom, reminding her that change was natural, and she was strong enough to face it. As you drift off to sleep, I hope you too find peace in the lessons of the autumn forest. May your dreams be filled with the beauty of the season, and may you wake with a sense of lightness and renewal, just as Layla did. If you're still awake, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to share your comments, experiences, or even your own story ideas that you'd like to see brought to life in future tales. Good night and sweet dreams.